Hello and welcome to Lift the Load. I'm your host, Claire King, and oh my goodness, it's February. How on earth did that happen? I'm not 100% sure. I really am not. I'm going to be honest, I am a mum of a January baby, and I find it very overwhelming because you literally finish Christmas. Actually, let's be honest, you don't even finish Christmas and your kid is already trying to plan their birthday party. And I don't know about you, but there's just so many things that I can think about at one time in my brain. But it's done. It's dusted. I can tick that off. And I've got 11 months now, or 10 months, until I need to worry about Christmas and this all again. So there's a bonus. Anyway, today is going to be a very quick episode. I've got to be honest, I'm recording this a little later than anticipated. I have been full of cold, but I am very thankful for Sudafed vegetables because I have managed to battle this off far quicker than my child. But nonetheless, let's get going. Let's get talking about the fact that we have lists. Never-ending lists in our brain, and it feels like we're never done. Even when we sit down, my brain, I don't know about yours, but my brain is still working. And as a business owner, the guilt is bad. Like, I genuinely am like, oh, I could be working on this, or I could be working on that. I might be physically present with my family, but sometimes I'm mentally elsewhere and I feel really damn guilty about it. And sometimes the cost of that productivity is actually enjoyment in life. And part of the problem was I was realizing that it wasn't bad for me to switch off, but I just wasn't really giving myself permission to do so. So I've been working on it. I've come up with a few tips and tricks that I wanted to share because I just thought it might be useful for anyone else that really struggles with this. You might not be a business owner, but you might still struggle. You might be like, yep, I've got this to-do list. I always feel bad. And let's be honest, we can often mix musts, shoulds, wants, and fantasies into this one big list and then judge ourselves when we don't get it all done. The guilt creeps in and rest feels undeserved, and self-care becomes something we fail at. This is something I see so much with the mums that come into my coaching. It's that thing of not allowing ourselves that time or feeling that we're trying to squeeze it in. And I'm very much down with low bandwidth fitness, but there has to be an element of that it is okay to do things for ourselves, and it's okay to want to spend time with our families. So the method I have been using is that I write everything down. At the beginning of the week, or sometimes on a Sunday, I literally write everything down. All the must-dos, the non-negotiables, the things that have to happen, like doing lunch boxes or, I don't know, ironing clothes, washing, whatever it might be, the musts. I must check in with clients, or everything that is on my list, business, personal, things that have to be done. Those are like the glass balls. Do you know the ones that we can be juggling everything, but you cannot drop those? Because if you drop them, things are gonna happen. Like, things that are not great are gonna happen. And then we've also got those activities that are shoulds or would like to do. They're nice, but they're not necessarily essential to everyday running. But let's be honest, the musts don't mean that I feel guilty if I don't do them. It just means that there are real consequences if they don't happen. So once you've got this list that can feel very overwhelming, it can look long, and you're like, Christ, I've got to do that all in a week. Then you've got two options. You assign all the musts to specific days because they can't all be done in necessarily one day. Or for something like lunch boxes, for example, Mini King always has school dinners on a Friday. So I know that Monday to Thursday, those are something that actually has to be done. And I know that PE kit needs to be in on Tuesday, but then I don't need to, once it's in, I don't need to worry about it again for the rest of the week. And there are like musts in terms of business and when I must do like program writing and different things like that. So they're the musts, and I can divvy those out throughout the days, and that can include Saturdays and Sundays. Like it's okay to have musts in other times of week, especially if it's clubs that you need to get kids to or whatever. Then you can either add your should. You can either do that at the beginning of the week, or you can do it day to day at the beginning of the day. And this is the important rule. Don't be a dick to yourself. If your list is like endlessly long, you are going to need a miracle to complete it. It's not a plan. You're self-sabotaging yourself. You are not going to get it done. And then you're just going to feel bad. But the key is, if you've got everything on that list done, then the rest of that time is yours. You don't need to worry about the things that are on the other days because you've already marked those for other days. You've set what you want to do, your intention for that day. You have got it all done. That rest of that time, you can enjoy. It can be enjoying it, doing self-care, having a bath, reading a book. It could be that you want to watch some TV, you spend time with your kids. It doesn't matter, but that time is yours. And it might feel like, well, great, it's happening at 9 o'clock at night and now I'm absolutely knackered and I just want to go to bed. Fine, just go to bed. But if that is the case, your list is probably too long. Yes, your musts might not finish until the end of the day if you've got dinner to cook and things like that. But equally, you know that if you finished all your musts and shoulds before then and you've just got that dinner, well, that's at a set time. So you can still enjoy those other parts. So it's kind of using some initiative, should I say, with that. Okay. So the key is the day is complete when all the things, the musts are done and the should-haves and things are done and you can just enjoy it guilt. Now, the question, does exercise fit into a must, a should, or does it count as free time? That is a question, isn't it? And it's going to be different for many people. But personally, I would say for me, there are a set amount of times that are non-negotiable. I have a bare minimum of that I want to work out. Now, my bare minimum might be different to your bare minimum. For example, my bare minimum would be 3 times a week. I think that is something I can manage. It's something I really enjoy. I think it also has so many huge benefits and makes me a better human. Helps me deal with like the mental load and capacity of everyday life. 3 is my non-negotiable. So therefore that would be in my must, but it might be a must on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Therefore, if I did any extra, for example, I wanted to go for a run, for example, I might make that a should, and it could be on Thursday while she's at swimming or something like that, or wherever it might be, however it might fall. So it's up to you, and let's be honest, your non-negotiables might look different. It might be 10 to 20 minutes of walking a day. And you are like, no, that is a non-negotiable for me. It's in that must list because it goes and it supports my mental health and my energy. It might be one short strength session a week. And I've talked loads about how we can make those shorts a lot on my Instagram, which is @claire.coachingkings. So go check that out. I talk a lot about low bandwidth fitness and health. So you can go and check that out. Because ultimately, consistency is important. It's how we get results. We don't need to be perfect to get results. Missed sessions do happen. Those things, if you're ill, obviously your musts might change. But this is just some ideas of how to cope, because often the list feels so long that we feel guilty for not doing it all. Yet if we actually think about it and think, right, I'm going to do this on one day, this on another, and if I've got to the end of my list, that time is free. That time is for me. Now, this isn't about being super rigid. We all know there are balls that we cannot drop. They're like little glass cylinders, and if we drop them, it has serious consequences. But this is about protecting our energy. It's about focusing on our attention, and it's about enjoying our family. These lists are here to serve you, not to haunt you. And I find it really quite satisfying ticking the damn things off. I'm going to be honest. So I hope you found that useful, short and sweet, but I'm here not only to talk about health and fitness, but to help navigate mum life, because I'm going through it as well, and I find it hard, and there are days when I really struggle, and there's things that I try and I want to kind of think the things that work best I will help you with too. Anyway, if you found this useful, please share it, put it on your stories, say listen to this podcast. It would be great if you could do that, or rate, review, so that people know that I'm actually worth listening to. Would be grand. Anyway, I hope you found it useful. I will see you again soon in 2 weeks' time, because this is a bi-weekly podcast, because again, I know that's what I can do consistently rather than shooting myself in the foot. Hope you all have a good couple of weeks, and I will see you again soon.